there's something to be said. Like, I could not be more impressed with what Bedford did, being down 21-3, coming back and playing that type of game. That's great. I mean, and if you know you're going to win that type of game, then I'd say, yeah, I'll take that. But so they certainly, there's a benefit to doing that on their end. There's also a benefit to getting up early and being able to kind of rotating guys a little bit and do that type of stuff, knowing that the next couple of weeks, that's not going to be the case.
I think it's going to be really tough this week. They're coming off of a hot win against BG in a crazy game, and they're definitely coming out for blood after, the way last game that we played them ended. So that being said, we're going to have to work really hard this week in order to beat them.
Yeah, with North, when we beat them earlier in the season, we had that really good sense of security when we came into this game, knowing that, we will be able to, we are the better team than them, we will be able to, pull the win off, and but Bedford is, a completely different situation here. It came down to the final seconds of the fourth quarter in our game, and we don't like being in situations like that. And so to see this team again, especially in the playoffs when, teams are kind of at their peak performance, or they want to be at least, teams get better throughout the season. And I feel like we have gotten better, but I feel like, Bedford may have as well, maybe even more so than us.
They did it against BG, down 21-3. They come back and take the game all the way down to the final seconds. That just shows their determination and their relentlessness to come after it. And they're hungry. They want to win too. It's playoffs. Everybody wants to win. It just helps us see how much they want it and how much more we have to work towards our goal.
I think the fact that you beat them early in the year, it probably makes it tougher. I think they're going to be a little bit more focused. They're going to play a little bit harder. They're going to practice a little bit harder. They're going to show up angry and ready to play. So we got to be able to match them, and that's a challenge. But regardless of that, just the fact that you're playing a team that's got the size they do, the strength, the speed, I mean, just all the stuff they have, it's going to be a challenge either way. And I think coming back from a loss is you can use that as an asset, which I assume they're doing this week.
And in goal to go from the one, we just can't afford these types of mistakes. Nice to win a playoff game, guys, but your season's going to end Saturday.
And we'll continue. We've done some film already. We'll continue to do more film where we show mistakes we were making, stuff that we need to do better. And it's pretty plain. So I don't think the kids see it as like a coach is trying to trick us into thinking we didn't play well. It's we played well, we won the game, but there's a lot of things we need to do better, and it's, I think, fairly obvious to them. So I think we have their attention on that. Hope so.
Right. The fact that BG was able to put those points on the board on them early was actually pretty surprising. But the fact that Bedford was able to come back and just keep the lead after that, basically, just show that we have to keep the foot on the pedal when we play them and not let up even if we get a lead.
We definitely have to come out with more, not more energy, but we have to make sure our mistakes are very limited. We can't have many mistakes at all in order to stay in the game and hang with them. We have to make sure we play a great game and come out and get ready.
So you guys got to know, we've said this other games this year, but long football game coming up on Saturday. So if you're up 21-3, they've already come back from it. If you're down 21-3, you're going to have to come back.
Having a lead on them in the last game, at least, was definitely comfortably enough. It gave us a little bit of fallback room. But after seeing what they did against BG, we're definitely going to have to keep working and keep putting the pedal on them. But I do trust our defense, and I think that they'll be able to get some big stops.
The playoff games, semifinals, whoever wins this game is going to be in the state championship. For us, it would be huge because it's our first state championship in 3 years, since 2012 when we were back in D3. Huge jump to D1. It's going to be, really showing that Goffstown is able to compete at this level. And for Bedford, it would be massive for them too. It would be their second appearance in 2 years. So either way, both teams should have a tremendous crowd there. Because Bedford, especially being not too far away, there should be a bunch of people from Bedford commuting over here just to see this game. And hopefully we can get a lot of supporters on our side of the field as well. So
they're a really good team. They've definitely improved. They've definitely made changes since the last time we faced them. So that definitely helps our spirits, and helps us get ready to work this week and get ready for them.
And just, the defense you're playing this coming week, it'll be a similar structure. There's going to be one safety in the middle. So if we have this coming and we have somewhere else a deep post over the top, I think we'll get a nice shot. Something to keep in mind. So bringing a lot of pressure here. One thing you're going to see is a little bit of this. It's like our 40 blast deal. So 4-man D-line, they bring both linebackers up. They don't bring them both inside of the D tackles, though. One guy is, the other guy is out in like B gap. They both blitz on this one, plus they bring this guy off the edge. It's a little more pressure than we're used to seeing from them, but it leaves you vulnerable. All right, Leahy, nice job working downfield. Bork, if you could try and score on those.
I think we need to show a touchdown.
Not going to be good enough. Can't let guys run through you like this. You're going to lose on Saturday. Your season's over. You can go to UNH the following week, though, and watch Bedford win the championship.
But yeah, I guess, we're in the playoffs. I guess I'm not unaware that if we lose, the season's over. But yeah, that'll be interesting. There'll be time to digest that later. So hopefully we're going on at least one more week. It's been a great ride already, but yeah, I'd like to keep it going. It's just a great group of kids to coach and to be a part of.
It's already definitely crossed my mind that this is going to be my last game playing at Goffstown on our home field. And it's a little upsetting. It's a little, it's really bittersweet because at the same time, this is a playoff game. This is huge for us, and if we were able to pull off the win, it's going to be even bigger for us, especially with our senior year being here. And just if we're able to go to that championship game, it's going to be really emotional. It's going to be really exciting, and I wouldn't imagine any better way to be able to, end our little run here with my brothers, and but I mean, at the same time, we try not to think about the fact that it could be our last game ever. A lot of kids won't be playing football in college. Some kids aren't sure, like myself, and it's really going to be an emotional day, especially whether win or lose.
Going into Saturday, I thought of it because playoffs, you don't know the outcome. Like in regular season, you're like, okay, if we lose one here, then I still got this many left. But playoffs, one game, your game you play that week, that could be your last. That could be it all. That could be the end of your career. And it just this past week, I just sunk in real deep that wow, if we lose this week, it's over. I mean, what we did in the regular season was great, but I don't want it to end. I know people on our team don't want it to end, so it just sinks in and gives you that more realization of it's playoffs.
It's crazy, The last game I'm ever going to play in high school could be this Saturday. It's definitely a thought that I have to have in the back of my mind, not thinking about it during the game at all, because we have to win this game because I'm not ready to take my pads off yet. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to bring it because I want to win this game.
Bishop Girton played very well. They beat a very good Bishop Girton team that played very well. And they are hungry as hell to come here and beat you guys.
most that game was going to be the one that won it. So, you know, I knew that we were going to be able to put points on the board. It just didn't happen yet. And I knew our defense was going to do a phenomenal job all game to stop them. Special teams, those two bad snaps, I guess, it gave them the ball on like the 5-yard line both times, and anyone could score from within the 5-yard line. So we put our defense in a real tough situation to make those plays, and even then they still held them. But my mindset was just that this is our game. There's no way we're going to lose this game on our own field. So, yeah, I knew we'd be able to come back, step it up, and just put points on the board.
Looking back on it, I would say, you know, the kids are resilient. They've always been resilient. Last year we had a big margin. We came back from it to win a game. This year we've been behind in a couple games, and we've come back, not to this extent, but the nature of the scores, I was a little nervous about that it just, you know, it's just going to be one of those days where we make every mistake possible and give them the game. At the same time, when they scored the second touchdown, it felt like we were playing with them pretty well up front. So I was thinking that if we stay with it, if the kids don't fold, that we had a shot still. But I was kind of encouraged by the fact it took them 4 downs from the 6 yards, and so I thought we were playing physically well with them, which is the biggest issue for us. So the fact that that wasn't going to be as big of an issue the rest of the game, I thought, okay, we had a shot here.
That scenario made me think of when we played Winnicott last year. In the first quarter, they were up 21-0. So I knew right there, I'm like, hey, we've been down before. We were able to come back. It's only 2 touchdowns. Just the second quarter, there's still a lot of game time. Even that after that touchdown, the kick return, we were talking to Coach Huff, and he said, it's only the second quarter, guys. There's still a lot of time left. And I knew we were going to be able to battle back. It wasn't that we weren't too far behind, so I knew we were going to battle back.
I mean, I honestly didn't know he was going to throw it to me, but I ran at full speed, and once I saw the ball, I was just like, I got to catch this. It's going to be a big play. So I caught it, and then I tried to get him some yards after
Definitely a giant play for us. You know, there was probably 15 seconds left on the clock, and we just wanted to keep the momentum on our side. So, you know, I saw Pat was alone with a kid that was probably 5 feet tall, so I knew he'd be able to make the play if I got him the ball, and for him to be able to make that catch was just huge.
Going into halftime, halftime, right off that, field goal, ending the half on a good note for us, was big for us. It kind of got us a little psyched up. We know that we can play with them. We know that our offense can get downfield, and we know that our defense is able to stop them. So going into the second half, we were all pretty confident that we were going to be able to put more points up on that board and limit theirs. And so, it's really, really, kind of confidence boosting to be able to know what you can and can't do in a situation like that.
The fact that we were getting the ball to start the second half, anything positive there is a bonus, so we were certainly willing to take the field goal. I thought the Bedford defender made a really smart play by just interfering with Duval, so we had no real shot to catch that pass with 7 seconds left. And now with 3 seconds left, it's like, are we really going to, and the answer was no, we wanted to get the point, so we were going to try a quick strike. If it worked, great. If not, we're kicking the field goal. We considered punting on that 4th and 1. It was around our own 40. The fact that we had issues with the punts earlier that quarter probably made the decision to go for it a little bit easier. And at the end of the day, if you don't convert 4th and 1, you're not supposed to win a football game in my mind. So we did, and then Casey and Pat made a play. Casey threw a great ball, and Pat Leahy went up and grabbed it, and he's been a big player for us all year. So just a case of kids making the play.
Taken down by number 52. Carry. Leahy on the carry.
Pleased. We had a beat on kind of what we were seeing from Bedford. We were able to match strength with them up front, and then our quicker guys were able to kind of get to the ball and make some plays happen. I think the weather certainly had a part in that Bedford's pass game wasn't quite as dangerous as it normally is. We were able to play the ball in the air a little bit better, and we got some pressure on the quarterback as well at times. So it was kind of a defense played really well. And just stuff we've been working on all year. So tackled well, got off blocks, and kids just made plays when they had to make plays.
Hussein on the carry for the Bulldogs. To tie the game, 17-17.
We got the play call from the sideline, actually, which doesn't usually happen. We usually get it when I'm on the field, but he told us all the play on the sideline because I think there was a timeout or something. And, I knew Connor was going to get the ball because Reed Key was doing the same thing the whole game, just trying to hit me as hard as he could. So I knew I would give Connor the ball. And with the particular blocking scheme we had set up for that play, I had a feeling that something big was going to happen.
So at that drive, I was just thinking to myself, just hold on to the ball, don't fumble it, try to get up the field as much as possible, get in field goal range, or get a touchdown. So when I went out there, I was not thinking a touchdown on even the first play, like not even thinking about scoring at all. So it just came out of nowhere.
I don't like standing down to towards the line of scrimmage. I like standing back and seeing what the defense is seeing and stuff. So I saw it all unfold. I saw Connor hit the hole, bounce it out, and he was gone. I just saw him break the hole, and off to the races he went. I knew right away that he was gone.
I was a little gassed at the time. I was taking a knee, probably getting some water, and I just saw everyone just going nuts. I didn't even actually see the play. But once Borky got passed around the 50-yard line, I broke through to the sideline and just kind of was able to see it, and it was phenomenal.
Last time we faced Bedford, when I had that touchdown run, it was called back. It was that exact same play, just reverse. So when they gave that play call, I was honestly surprised they were giving me the ball. At that point, I thought we were going to throw it because our run game was strong, but I was only getting 6-yard gains, so it would have took a lot longer to get up the field. So I thought we were going to be passing. So when I saw that play call, I was like, all right.
We actually had a 2-play sequence in mind. So we already had the second play called as well. It was a look that we liked. And we had used the formation earlier in the game and hadn't blocked the play well, so this time we blocked it a little bit better. Receivers made some great blocks. Connor does his thing, so he had to stop on a dime, made a cut, got north-south, got some guys over-pursued, and then he's just fast and quick, and he's good at what he does. So he made a lot of that. He played a lot of that happen on his own. We also had Frankie Castillo-Diaz had 2 pancakes on the one play. Tyler Small had a pancake, and we got some good blocking inside. So once he got north-south, I could see a nice crease opening for him. The last defensive back didn't have the angle on him, so it was. The next thing I do was do a quick scan for flags. I didn't see any, so we started getting exciting at that point.
It was running to my side, the left side, and I would curl around behind Smalls and Leahy, and I would have to either block the corner or the linebacker that comes up. So I blocked the corner, and then the safety came up, and I blocked the corner to the ground, and I was leaning over the corner, and I blocked the safety, and the safety fell back. So I mean that kind of helped Bork get the touchdown.
I got the ball. The left defensive end almost tackled me, and Franklin had an outstanding block on the outside. I just went right next to him and found the end zone. The guy was trailing me, so thank God he didn't get me. But yeah, it was crazy.
I was running down the field just to celebrate with him, but I didn't really think of it. It's hard to explain because I was just shocked how fast we scored.
It's comforting knowing that your defense is playing well just because it gives you time on offense. We made mistakes, we turned the ball over and stuff, which I'm not happy about, but at the least we have so many explosive guys on offense that if the defense is playing well, you can get the ball, you can take some shots. If it doesn't work out, you can punt, and you trust your defense to get you the ball back. So it's a very nice feeling. At the same time, the offense I thought did a great job. When we were down 14-0, we drove a 14-play drive for 70-something yards. Huge point in the game. So that was a big play, a big turning point. And then to score the last touchdown was, it was offense and defense, and some special teams kind of put it all together.
Bedford Bulldogs 17. The Goffstown Wizards would like to thank the entire Bedford Bulldog fan base and football team for the great competition this year and for a great season. Thank you. Goffstown Grizzlies are on to Dome. They will play at 6 p.m. next Sunday at UNH. Be there.
Right after that game was done, it almost didn't feel real at the time. It never really hit me, at least for me it never hit me how important that game was. It just kind of felt like another game that we had to do, and right afterwards, everyone was just so relieved that we were actually able to knock off that team, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. Now we can just look towards finishing off this season and competing for the state championship, and there's just a whole spectrum of feelings that you're feeling right after a win like that, and it's almost hard to describe, but I think the one thing I would put it would just be absolute joy.
I got one more week left.
I don't think the feeling's even set in yet that, we're going to the championship game. It's just fantastic for everyone, really, the teammates, the community as a whole even. Just to be able to come out here and play my final game ever in high school at UNH under the lights for the championship game is just a special feeling.